Astroneer. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Explore and reshape distant worlds. Astroneer is set during a 25th century gold rush where players must explore the frontiers of outer space, risking their lives in harsh environments for the chance of striking it rich. On this adventure, a player's most useful tool is their ability to shape the world, altering the terrain and extracting valuable resources from planets and moons. Resources can be traded or crafted into new tools, vehicles and modules to create everything from massive industrial bases to mobile rover bases. Now guys, you could be forgiven for thinking that this is No Man's Sky, and indeed a lot of people are saying this is what No Man's Sky should have been, but it isn't. And I don't really see any similarity at all between this and No Man's Sky. So, well, the graphics look a little bit like it, but that's pretty much it. So, you know, it isn't No Man's Sky. Get over it. No Man's Sky is what it was. This is Astroneer, and it's nothing like it. So let's get on. So what is it then? Well, basically what you do is you start by landing on a planet, actually like in No Man's Sky, and when you get on the planet, what you have to do is survive on that planet. Yeah, like No Man's Sky. And to do that, you have got to gather resources. It is so important to gather resources, like in No Man's Sky. And the way you do that, though, the way you actually gather the resources in this game is you run around and you see all these weird looking plants and things growing that are totally strange, like in No Man's Sky. And to gather them, you have this like tool, this like reshaping tool, and it just like sucks everything up, and like in No Man's Sky. Actually, yes, exactly. And it also changes the terrain, though. It's like really strange. It's like a Dyson on drugs. It just reshapes the whole map, and you can turn it into the Dyson hairdryer and blow all the shit back and fill in your holes. So it's really, really nice, this tool. It's great fun, the tool. You'll find plots of resources all over the place, and the kind of the raw resources, so you have to refine them, like in that No Man's Sky game. And you do that by going to your base, and your base is rather strange because your base, it starts off as this, looks like a lunar module from the Apollo missions, and they have little attachments on, and you can put in the right materials, and that will grow that little attachment out, and you can build something on that, like a printer. And what a printer does, it makes things. Or you can build a vehicle bay, or you can build a smelter, or you can build a research lab, and just keep expanding your base. The problem, though, is you need oxygen. You will run out of oxygen. You can see the little blue line on the back of the tank. That shows the oxygen going down all the time. When you're standing next to your base, you're fine because you get tethered to your base. That's the little blue pipe that you see. And that allows you to breathe oxygen. Now, if you get the right components, you can create tethers so that you can expand your base. Like in Subnautica, where you had exactly the same thing. You had wind pipes that you could build underwater that allows you to breathe underwater. And it's the same thing in here. You just build tethers, and that allows you to expand and explore further out onto the planet's surface, and also into caves underneath the planet's surface, or in mountains on the planet's surface. And the more you explore, the more things you'll find. The more things you find, the more things you can make. And the more things you make you want to make more things. So you go looking for more things to find, and it goes on and on and on like that. Now, there are dangers on this planet, as I found out to my peril. The first danger is gravity. You can't fall a long way, which is good. You'll break your neck if you do, and then you're dead. But there's also other things, and I've noticed that red is dead. Red is dead. If you go into any kind of cave system and you see anything that has red on it, it'll kill you pretty much if you go near it. There's a plant that it just has a few red blobs on it, and I was running past and it just spiked me and injected me with something deadly, and I was dead inside of a second. There's also these that look like chimneys, and they fire this green shit out, and it is like a homing shit. It's like green homing shit that comes after you. You can easily get away from it if you run away, but if there's a lot of them firing at you and you're trying to get something that's near them, you're probably going to die, because it's just like toxic gas that knocks you out straight away. So you have to watch out for that. But that's it. That's it. There's oxygen, gravity, green homing shit, and spikes. And I've found nothing else that will kill me. There is no mobs wandering around. There's no Martians, aliens. It's a big shame, really. There's nothing else out there. There should be giant monsters and all kinds of stuff. And I've just been reading the FAQ on the developer's website, and there doesn't seem to be any plans yet to put anything in that's going to be, you know, deadly and chase you and shit, which I find odd, because there's all these different alien worlds that you can get to, and I'll come to that in a minute. And yet, they never thought of actually putting aliens in this world. But it is early access and pre-alpha. I mean, this isn't even in alpha yet. But, I don't know. My big toe's twitching, guys. And the last time my big toe twitched, it was No Man's Sky. I called No Man's Sky about 8 months before it even launched. People were saying, oh, No Man's Sky, no. And I said, you know what? I've got a really bad feeling about No Man's Sky. It just didn't sit right with me, No Man's Sky, and I was bang on with it. Look at the mess that was. And me big toe's twitching here, guys. And I don't know what it is, but it's been extremely successful, this game so far. Loads of people have bought into it, and the developers seem really good, really friendly. But I don't know. I just hope that if the developers are watching this, I hope you finish this game and don't just say, hey, we're now into alpha, hey, there's another patch, we're now into beta, hey, thanks for the money, game's released, yeah, see ya. You know, I just hope that doesn't happen. I hope they add a lot more, because this game, let me tell you guys, has huge potential. It is terrific fun. I absolutely love it. I've got this base going that was really difficult at first, and I had some horrible times in this base. I've been killed by gravity, the spikes, the homing shit, and the sandstorms that come, and they can kill you by lifting up rocks and firing them at your face. So there is a few other things. But I built this base up that looks awful, and it was just so much fun building it, just getting fuel, building batteries, refining ore into aluminium, and building a research lab, researching strange things that I found, which unlocked different things that I could build. I got to build solar panels, I got to build like a windmill thing that harnesses the power of the wind, and I just upgraded a lot of my base, built a little rover vehicle which handles horrifically, and drove around a bit. I also built extra oxygen tanks. I built a little space shuttle. What's a space shuttle? I built a space shuttle, guys, and it took me off the planet, and I went to this other planet. I had a bit of a dodgy landing, but it was still quite amazing that I actually did all that. So there's loads to do in such an early game, but then you'll hit a wall where it's kind of like, what now? No one's gonna come and rape my face. What do you do? What do you do? And that's a bit of a problem with this. Now, a good thing is it does have drop-in, drop-out co-op, and I've played a bit of the co-op, and it is good fun. It's quite well done, actually, the co-op. It's seamless, pretty much. So, although I did have one crash when I was doing the co-op, but it is fun seeing other people running around and helping you with your base and all the rest of it. So, it is fun. It's definitely a fun game. It's £15, guys, and I've got to say that I've had my money's worth. If the developer did walk away now, I wouldn't be happy with them, but I would have at least had my £15 worth. And there's not a lot of early access games you can say that about, but this one is definitely fun. If you like the idea of starting with nothing, exploring, mining, crafting, building, upgrading, living, surviving, and you know, you might look at this video and see all these tethers that I've put down and think, that looks like work, Mac, that doesn't look like fun. No, it's actually fun. I do have, though, one huge fucking gripe about this game, guys, and you probably have guessed it, the more of my regular viewers. Third person view. Third person view, guys, no. It would have been so much better first person, and you can see why by this video clip. I mean, what the actual is that going? All you can see is a great big fucking thing on me back, It's ridiculous. I could be walking into poison, walking into clouds, walking off a cliff. You can't see because it's in third person. When you're in the caves and you're turning left and right, it's so horribly clunky and shit. And for why? Just so you can see the man in his little fucking spacesuit. I mean, he's carrying it using the fucking force. You know, it's not even attached to him. These big things are just like, and he's just lifting it up and running around with it. So, you know, it looks a bit shit. You know, it could have been in first person and maybe have, I don't know, a harness that you put it on your back and just carrying it like that. But you don't need to see it, you know? It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've just got this thing about third person. But it just is annoying when you can't see where you're fucking going or where you're turning. You just keep your whole monitor. You get this huge thing just filling your screen. And it's like, what the fuck is that? But guys, it's worth buying if you're into this type of game. Sadly, and this is sad, this is actually way better than No Man's Sky, guys. It really is a lot better than No Man's Sky, which is sad really, because No Man's Sky was a finished $39.99 game. This is a pre-alpha £15 game made by, I don't know, Billy and Larry in their bedroom. It's if I was that guy from No Man's Sky, I'd just become a Tibetan yak farmer or something and just live up a mountain in a little tiny hut for the rest of my life, because the failure is just so extreme. I mean, what does he feel when he sees something like this? I mean, he must be like, fucking hell. We were backed by fucking Sony that had millions of pounds, guys, huge teams. And they've been outdone by Billy and Larry in a shed. So there you go, guys. Astroneer is a great co-op, fun, little buildy, crafty, survivey game on weird-looking planets. Pre-alpha, well worth supporting if you're a fan of this type of game, and it is good fun. So there you go.